Hello everyone. This is Candidate Spotlight, where we bring the unfiltered content about your candidate. Today we have with us the Atri Chattopadhyay, contesting for General Secretary Tech Board. So Bhaiya, this interview is going to be in two segments. The first segment will involve the questions that we have collected from the campus Janta, and the second segment you can consider is something as rapid fire. That is something that you should know as someone who is contesting for this particular position. So let's just begin. Okay. So first question to you would be regarding the point on that placement test preparation. The tech clubs had already executed the major domains of SDE and analyst this year. What other domain do you think is missing?
Um, well, on the first part of the question that we executed, like I was part of the coding club as a secchi, and it was kind of my idea to actually execute the SD part. But SD tests were kind of a bit random. It wasn't scheduled properly due to, we couldn't collaborate properly with CCD. It was very random on weekdays, and the timings were also not organized. And similarly, when I spoke to CNA who had conducted the analyst test, they were also not happy with the quality of the test because that was also a very last moment thing. So this year, what I'm planning is we will have a cradle to grave initiative. We'll release resources that TechBoard does usually in summer, and then after that, then plan on the test properly, like in domains of SD, non-tech, product, and core. Like core in electrical and mechanical, I'm planning to start off and then expand to other domains. And the timeline for that would be for the test would be ending of August to entire September, consisting of around 5 tests.
How many people think you're targeting as your?
In SD, we got around 480 submissions and around 260 to 280 people came offline. In analyst role as well, there were around 250 people. So it depends. Like for major roles like SD analyst, I'm expecting 250 to 300 people at the least. But for core electrical and mechanical, it might be less, like 50 to 100 people.
And like, what efforts are you putting in this particular board? Like, clubs can also do this, but what you are thinking doing as a board to ensure that this happens?
One of the problem that I personally faced during while conducting SD tests was that we weren't getting the rooms for conducting offline tests. And actually, the CCD team usually is of the fourth year, and it's very difficult to get in touch with them because they are usually busy with the internship season. And like we need somebody from a higher authority who could collaborate on this, like for the logistics of the event. So as part of the board, I would ensure that the clubs doesn't need to focus more on the logistic and they could more focus on the quality of the test.
Cool. So, next question would be regarding your agenda related to open summer projects. It literally has the same wordings as the previous general secretary's agendas.
Right.
Do you think someone who does not even put effort into drafting their own agenda handles such a complicated board?
Well, it does have kind of similar wordings as the previous Gensec, but it didn't get executed. Like I spoke to the previous Gensec and the overall coordinator of the technical board, and the problem with that was the previous timeline was a bit delayed. Like the elections, handover, and everything were a bit delayed. And by the time we had like proper meets with the Gensec, it was that late into May, and the even the recruitments were late. So it made it difficult since the CV verifications go by 30th June, so we had to complete projects and then check all of them within 15th to 20th of June. So this year I'm planning to start it off early, like within April, around April 10th or so, to inform the clubs that based on this and take their opinions on it, how would they execute it, and to start off just after the exams. So as people who are preparing for internship and placement tests, they could also have time to focus more on projects and have a time to focus on the quality of them.
So, next question would be you have mentioned about hosting the Inter IIT Tech Meet at IIT Guwahati. How will that affect the participation of the institute in the Tech Meet? Do you like really think that is required and would help in any way in improving our performance from last year? Given that total people that would be presenting would remain the same and members of the contingent are not allowed to network with judges during the event.
Right. So if we are to say on the basis of participation, I don't think so there would be much difference on the participation side because hosting an event is entirely a managerial concept. The people who are participating in Interactive, they are the people who are masters of their domain and they usually work on technical side of things. While people who would be hosting it, while some of them would need the knowledge who have been experiencing Interactive tech for let's say 1 or 2 years, but that would be a very less number of people compared to the entire team, maybe 10 to 20% of it. The other people would be ones who would be very good at marketing, outreach, events. So I don't think so that would affect participation much. And regarding improving the participation, while improving our performance, this doesn't directly correlate with improving our performance, but what it does is when you see such a event at a large scale happening in our college, you could get inspired. Like the first years who would be staying back, even let's say the placement coordinators, people, there are a lot of people who stay back during winters. For many, even inter-IT cult people, when they see such a big event happening in the campus, they would feel motivated and the word of mouth would spread to the entire campus. I'll give you a personal example. When I came into campus during my first year, we came in around October, and in January there was this event. It was by IIT Guwahati, and I was part of Lohit, and I saw people eating in Lohit mess wearing Ethos ID card. That made me motivate that what is Ethos, and then I searched up that I saw that it was a very big hackathon, and somewhere down the line I thought that this is a great event to take part. Then next year for some reasons it didn't happen, and this year as the secretary of the coding club I made it happen. So somewhere down the line the spread of word of mouth would inspire and improve the culture of the technical group.
Cool. Okay. You've mentioned that the previous GS technical board has already prepared an initial draft for the same. Then how is this your agenda at the first place?
Well, organizing Inter-IT Tech Meet has a lot of procedure. While the initial draft has been made by the previous GenSec, that draft needs to be sent to the Dean of Student Affairs, Perumal sir, and then needs to be passed by him. Then after once it's passed, it needs to get to the director sir. Once director sir approves it, it needs to be passed in the Inter-IT board meeting, which consists of all the GenSecs of all IITs. Once it's passed in the bidding in the Inter-IT board meeting, after that we're allowed to form teams. So the board meeting would be handled by me. So it's kind of my agenda to pass it through the board meeting.
Since so this would be the last question of first segment. Since you don't have experience with hardware clubs, do you think you'll be able to understand the problems properly and help hardware clubs grow under your leadership? And what kind of research? We just want to know what kind of research have you done regarding this?
Well, I would like to mention that my background is from electronics and electrical engineering, and I have a decent academic performance in general. So it's not that I'm entirely disconnected from hardware clubs. And plus, I have many friends across hardware clubs. So I spoke to all of them, all the club secretaries, and I researched about what they're. Even I would also like to mention there was a project MagMove Chess that came forth in Tech Mahindra Global Chess Hackathon. We built an entire prototype of chess board that was automated, and it was appreciated by 2015 Vice President Om Prakash Bia. So it's not that I'm not really aware of what happens in hardware. It might be that I might myself haven't built and with done hands-on things, but I'm really aware of how things happen, what are the process and stages of projects in hardware.
So that was it for this first segment. In the second segment, we'll be asking questions that test the general knowledge of the candidates. So, okay, what are the clubs officially part of the technical board?
Do you want me to name it or
Yeah, I want you to name it.
Okay, Aero Modeling, 4i Labs, Electronics Club, Robotics Club, Automobile Club, Coding Club, Finance and Economics Club, Consulting and Analytics Club, eCell, Whitespace, IITG.ai, Acumen, Equinox, and uh, did I mention Whitespace?
Yeah, you did, but I think we should move to the next question. Which problem statements did IIT Guwahati clinch gold, silver, and bronze medals respectively in Inter-IIT Tech Meet 13.2?
Well, gold was in the Zelta problem statement by the fund. Silver was one of them was Bharat Forge, as far as I remember, and apart from Bharat Forge, I think the optimization problem statement. I don't remember the exact name of it. The optimization problem statement that was in midprep, that was silver. In bronze, it was Dream 11. It was INA Solar.
Cool. We should move to the next question. Which club is the newest addition to technical board?
I think IITG.ai.
Cool. Tell me the standings of IITG in Inter-IT for the past 4 years.
Okay, this year we are third. Last year we are fourth.
You can name the year.
Okay, so 2024 we are third, 2023 we are fourth, 2022 we are fifth, and 2021 we are fourth.
Except for Inter-IT, list 5 national or global level competitions that our tech labs have taken part of.
Okay, Smart India Hackathon, Creative Shock.
And which clubs have taken part in that?
I think SIH every club has mostly taken part of. Creative Shock is the non-tech competition, so it has been taken part by CNA, FEC and ECell mostly. LAM research, it's a competition for electronics club. It India, I mean, this year we didn't take part, but last year we did take part. That was part of FEC. And one more one. And I mean, there are a lot of I can't really. Formula Bharat, automotive.
Cool. That is it for the interview. Thank you so much for joining.